Well, good morning, everybody. Ruby Frank got sentenced, so I have no makeup on or nothing. We're just gonna go ahead and go on into it because I haven't been able to put anything out. Again, I have been moving and whatnot, so anyway, let's go ahead and talk about Ruby Frank. So without any further ado, grab your snacks, grab your drinks, and roll the intro. So I have this article popped up here. Again, I seen this and I was like, wait a minute, she got sentenced? So as soon as I heard that, I popped up on here, wanted to get this video out, which it might be a few days delayed because again, things. But if you, quick crash course, if you don't know who Ruby Franke is or you haven't been following this situation, Ruby Frank, seen here, is a former Family Channel owner of the Family Channel 8 Passengers that had millions of subscribers, where she would, along with her husband Kevin, because it seems like a lot of people are leaving Kevin out. I will not leave Kevin out, because Kevin, in one way, shape, or form, participated in the bullshit, allegedly. Anyway, her and her husband Kevin would make videos documenting their controversial, if you can call it that, parenting style, like sending their kid off to wilderness camp for no reason, or having that same kid go a whole bunch of months without a bed and made him sleep on a beanbag chair. There was the fact that she didn't give her 5-year-old daughter a lunch to go to school with, and then when the teacher called concerned, said that her kid had to learn how to pack her own lunches and therefore was learning a lesson by going hungry, which now has been revealed is one of the same two children that had to escape her basement and was emaciated and malnourished. Gosh, I wonder why. So Ruby can, again, I'm probably getting ahead of myself, but later on, Ruby tries to say that, like, Jody Hildebrandt, which is her business partner that I'll get into in a second, she tries to blame her now for teaching her to do this to her kids. No. That video where she was telling her kid to go hungry is, like, several years old now. Way before she even started doing shit with Jody. No, she can't completely pin it on her. Jody, Ruby, Kevin, their children made videos where they would just document their daily lives, which featured Kevin and Ruby's very controversial parenting style, where they would just basically do borderline harmful things to their children. And people for years online talked about this for years and years and years. So finally, it came to a culmination where Ruby decided to delete the 8 Passengers YouTube channel and started making a business called Connections with a woman named Jody Hildebrandt, who was a licensed therapist that would do awful things to her clients, like purposely separating men and women, purposely separating spouses and causing more problems to just make sure that she got more visits and a lot of other things. Jody's not a good person either, but they got arrested because one of Ruby's children, one of her sons, I believe, the youngest son, left Jody's house and was emaciated, malnourished, just horrific. And as someone that was kind of in the same religion as them, these punishments, let's just say they're not exactly uncommon. As soon as I heard the things about the cayenne pepper and honey paste and the duct tape, the amount of childhood trauma flashbacks I've had. Just the things that she would do, like making your kids sleep without a bed. Oh, encouraged. But here's the article. It's on NBC News. Now that we're all caught up and we know, which if you want the more insides of the whole thing, many people have made hours-long documentaries. I recommend Swoop's docuseries about the 8 passengers Ruby Frank situation. Shout out to Swoop. I love Swoop because it's not drama in this situation. It is dangerous, and people like Ruby really get under my skin because these kind of parents, they're not exactly uncommon when it comes to religious beliefs and whatnot. So, yeah, people are being shocked, and I'm just shocked that this kind of thing is still existing. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the article. Which, take a drink, because we're gonna need it. Me, again, super early, I need caffeine, so I'm having Coca-Cola. Probably shouldn't have Coca-Cola in the morning, but, you know, it's no worse than a cup of coffee when it comes to acidity, so hey. Because we're gonna need it. Alright, let's pop on into this article. The former YouTube family vlogger pleaded guilty to 4 counts of second-degree aggravated child A-word in December. Former family vlogger Ruby Franke has been sentenced to 4 1 to 15-year terms in prison by a Utah District Court on Tuesday, ending a months-long child A-word case brought against the mother of 6. Franke's business partner, Jody Hildebrandt, was also sentenced to 1 to 15-year prison terms on Tuesday. Both women will serve their sentences consecutively. So, what essentially that means is that they were sentenced to 1 to 15 years for each sentence. And they're going to be serving those consecutively, which consecutively means all at one time. Back to back, basically. So what I'm getting is Ruby and Jody pleaded guilty, and they got sentenced for 4 of these 1 to 15 years. So at the very least, Jody and Ruby will be serving 4 years. At the very least, they will be going to prison. It's a definite at this point. Because they were sentenced to 4 1 to 15 years. So they could serve anywhere up to 30 years, which I'm pretty sure is the maximum for these kinds of cases, for child abuse cases. So they're going to definitely be spending at least 4 years. 4 years in prison, which I think they need the max. But it's good to know that they'll at least be locked up for 4 years. I just want these kids to be grown before these people are let out. Honestly. It's awful. According to the Utah law, the maximum aggregate sentence for consecutive terms is 30 years. Haha, I was right. The Utah Board of Pardons and Parole will determine how long Franke and Hildebrandt will be incarcerated. During the sentencing hearing, audio of which was streamed to Utah's court website, Franke teared up while apologizing to her children. Now, you're just sorry you got caught. I believed dark was light and right was wrong. I would do anything in this world for you. I took from you all that was soft, safe, and good. Your kids are never gonna look at you the same fucking way again. All they're gonna see is a monster. She also addressed the judge. Why do they put these like this? She also addressed Judge John Walton, blah, 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 and the courtroom. For the past 4 years, I've chosen to follow the counsel and guidance that has led me to a dark delusion. No, it's been before 4 years. No, this started before 2020. 4 years ago would have been 2020. This was before 2020. You were doing this before you met Jody. You were just looking for someone to validate that the way that you were parenting your children was good, and then she said, no, you're not doing enough. Here's how you do it even worse. My distorted version of reality went largely unchecked, and I would isolate myself from anyone who challenged me. Franke and Hildebrandt pleaded guilty to 4 counts of second-degree aggravated child A-word in December, several months after being charged with 6 counts of felony child A-word. Franke previously agreed to testify against Hildebrandt in exchange for the county's attorney neutrality in future hearings with the Utah Board of Parole and Corrections. The two were arrested in August 2023 after police found one of Franke's sons emaciated with open wounds and bound with duct tape. He had escaped Hildebrandt's home to a neighbor's house. One of Franke's daughters was found in a similar malnourished condition in the Hildebrandt's home. Hildebrandt also made a brief statement to the court on Tuesday. "I desired for the children to heal physically and emotionally," she said. "One of the reasons I do not go to trial is because I did not want them to have to emotionally relive the experience in which they would have been detrimental to them. My hope and prayer is that they will heal and move forward with these beautiful lives." You've traumatized these children. You think they'll just be able to move on? No, you've done permanent damage. I would know. The audacity. The absolute audacity. I'm going to withhold them of my presence because it would be detrimental. What about all the other times that you've been in front of these children hurting them? You think your presence wasn't detrimental then, but because you're in a courtroom now, is detrimental? Okay, Jody, because as someone that went through a lot of trauma at the same ages, if not even younger, I think I was probably the age of the youngest when a lot of the bad shit happened. I'm still not past it, and I'm in my 20s, man. I was 8. I still have nightmares. Every single night, I wake up with nightmares. It stops me from going outside, from living an actually full life, because I'm terrified of people. Why do you think I made my job online? Is she playing? I want these kids to move on and have beautiful lives. Are you serious? These kids are going to have permanent damage. They're probably going to wake up one day when they're older, like I did, and have a flood of memories coming back to them while working in therapy to remember anything of my childhood. And then actually unlocking memories and realizing just how fucked your life was and wondering if there's a way to actually forget things that you've just learned as an adult about your own past as a child. It's a whole mind fuck, and it will go on for life. You have done detrimental damage. What don't you see, Jody? What don't you see, Ruby? You have done detrimental damage to these children. For the rest of their lives, no doubt. During Hildebrandt's sentencing, Eric Clark, the Washington County attorney, said that she showed little to no remorse and that she repeatedly claimed that she was the victim and that the children are the perpetrators. Exactly. That's another thing. Right out the gate, as soon as they got arrested, they were blaming the little kids that they were horrifically harming. If that don't sound like my mom, I don't know what, man. I don't know what. Repeatedly claimed that she's the victim and the children are the perpetrators. God damn, right there. He also called Hildebrandt a significant threat to the community. Thank God. It would be argued that Miss Franke would receive a lesser sentence to than Miss Hildebrandt because of her and recent willingness to cooperate with the state. She just wants an easier out and is willing to throw Jody under the bus. Attorneys for Hildebrandt and Franke did not immediately respond to requests for comment on Tuesday. While Franke is not an A-list celebrity, her case has become a public spectacle. Some online commentators said they feel it has helped bring renewed attention to a dark underside of the family vlogging channels. Franke, her husband, and Kevin and their 6 children rose to prominence on YouTube, where they amassed 2.3 million subscribers on their now defunct channel 8 Passengers. Franke frequently collaborated on controversial parenting and relationship advice videos with Hildebrandt. The Franke's parenting style had previously led some viewers to report them to authorities, which Franke also faced backlash for in videos where she refused to then bring her 6-year-old lunch after the child forgot to pack food and threatened to throw away her children's most prized possessions. Hildebrandt also faced scrutiny over her life coaching advice, connections, which some former clients described to NBC News as a program that isolated them from their loved ones and destroyed marriages. Franke, who was held without bail since her arrest, is pursuing a personal growth and rehabilitation by apologizing to and refusing to reconcile, or trying to reconcile, with members of her family. The law firm representing her said in December. Lawyers for Franke and Hildebrandt said that they are systematically isolated. Lawyers for Franke said that Jody systematically isolated Franke from her family over a prolonged period of time, which caused her to adopt a disordered sense of morality under Hildebrandt's influence. Okay. Lawyers for Franke said at the time of the divorce filing that she was devastated by the news, but she understood that Kevin's reasoning and respected his decision. Oh, so they are getting divorced, okay. The statement also noted that she offered her full cooperation to help reunite their children with their father. No, Kevin needs to also be arrested. He also participated in this. Virginia Blanchard, who has been representing the children, and Keister, Kevin's attorney, did not respond to requests for comment. Okay, so that's it. So at the very least, Ruby and Jody are going to be serving 4 years. At the very least, they'll be serving 4 years, which is good. I'm very happy about this. I'm very glad. I'm so sick of these people getting away with this shit. It pisses me off. But at least now, finally, there's been some actual justice in this situation. I'm glad. I hope this is the last time I have to talk about this woman or these women. I really fucking hope so. But yeah, Jody and Ruby are finally sentenced and they're going to be serving like 4 years, which is great. I don't really know what else to say, but I'm glad that they are at least serving 4 years. I really want it to be more. I hope that they get the full 30 and that these kids are able to find some peace and endure, is all I can say. Find something to put your peace in and grow that. Grow your peace. Grow your peace, man. I'm sorry. That shit gets under my skin. Parents like this just get under my skin. Because, again, it's one of those things that you're like, God damn, this is really horrifying. I hope I'm not... I'm pretty sure I'm the only one. And then you find out people are using the same fucking punishments. It's like... You mean there's other parents that are just as fucked up? Okay. Ugh, it's awful. But yeah. Happy about this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I don't just talk about this stuff. I also talk about books, movies, TV shows, whatever I want to talk about. This is the random show after all. It's random for a reason. I do whatever I want. So I love you all so much. And I hope you have the best day. See ya.